Good day, everyone. This is Dr. Nemwales Fahotagana from the National Teacher Training Center for the Health Professions, UP Manila. For today's tutorial, our focus will be on exporting a PowerPoint presentation as a high-definition video. You may ask why export PPT presentation as video. The simple answer is because of the fact that a lot of our presentations now are being uploaded. And sometimes you don't want to upload your PowerPoint presentation as a raw PowerPoint presentation, but rather as a video and shared through different platforms like YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, OneDrive, Google Drive, Facebook, or even Moodle if you have an existing learning management system. If your PowerPoint presentation is converted into a video, you can upload this to a different video sharing platform, and from there your students will be able to access them anytime, anywhere, using different technology, either using a cell phone, a smartphone, a laptop, or a PC. Is it difficult to export a PowerPoint presentation to video format? Actually, the simple answer is no, because all you need to do is to utilize the existing PowerPoint that you have, except that you need to add page transitions and basic animations for objects within the slide, like text animation. And if in case you need to have a scripted narration, then you need to fill up your slide notes with some of the scripts, or otherwise you can talk naturally as if you're talking to your students face to face. So let us now go to the basic of exporting PowerPoint as video. Let me now demonstrate to you the step-by-step process of converting or exporting a PowerPoint presentation as a high-definition video. So step one, we open an existing PowerPoint presentation. So let's open sample presentation for this demonstration. As I mentioned earlier, for this demonstration, the PowerPoint presentation is already embedded with animations, page transitions, and object animations. So the next step for us, recording slideshow is a way of recording all narrations, inks, animations, and all other actions that you created in the PowerPoint presentation. The recorded animations and transitions will be recognized during the actual video export. So let us now go back to the presentation. So to do recording, all you need to do is to go to the record slideshow menu shown here, and then select where you want the recording to start. You can start from current slide or what's the slide that's open, or you can record from the beginning. Since we will be recording from the start, so we'll select record from the beginning. Okay, let's click record from the beginning. When you click the record, you will be brought to this particular window. So you have several buttons here: record, stop, replay, notes, if you have notes. So we'll open this because in some pages I have notes. You can also clear existing recordings if there are any, and you can also set up your microphone and video if in case you need a video. So if you have a video, if you select a video, then you will be able to see your face, and you can embed it in the particular presentation. So let's remove it for the moment. We will not include that in the presentation. Okay, so what you do is, as I said, just click record, and it will count down. Then you now see that it's the change from the change of the button from record to now pause. And as it is, now we are already recording. So you will notice here the seconds or the time we have consumed so far. So we're into 25 seconds. So you just proceed to the next slide, and then whatever is happening in the screen is being recorded by your screen recorder. So here I have, for example, the script. So I will explain this particular this slide by reading my notes. So that the Bloom's taxonomy will have two dimensions, the cognitive and knowledge dimensions. So the cognitive process dimension represents a continuum of increasing cognitive complexity from remember to create. So we have remembers, the lowest, understand, going up to apply, and to the higher order thinking skills or cognitive dimensions, analyze, evaluate, and create. So you can divide the six into two groups. The lower group are called the lower order thinking skills, and the upper group are called the higher order thinking skills. So you notice we are monitoring the time here. So I can proceed to the knowledge dimension. So the knowledge dimension here represents, so if you, for example, use a pen, then you can also draw and this will be recorded. The knowledge dimension represents a range from concrete to abstract metacognition. So what are those? So let me review to you the dimensions in the knowledge or the components of the knowledge dimension. We have knowledge of fact, we have knowledge of concepts, knowledge of procedure, and metacognitive knowledge. So all these animations are being recorded. So I can explain further. You can explain further that the four knowledge dimensions are actually present at all levels or required at all levels of cognitive dimension, meaning you need to understand, for example, fact, metacognitive knowledge, you need to understand concepts, you need to understand um, procedures. So you can analyze, evaluate, create. So you using your knowledge of fact, using your knowledge of all the other knowledge dimension, then you create. So that's the highest level of the cognitive dimension. So for example, you that's the last of your slide, then you end. So those are the steps in preparing your video for or your PowerPoint presentation for eventual export as a high definition video. You can stop there, and if you want, you can go back to the first page, first slide, for example, and then you can just replay. And then whatever is happening in the screen is being recorded by your. Okay, so we've tested that. So we're okay. We now go to the next step, porting your PowerPoint as a high definition video. So as you see here, basically you just follow several sub steps, clicking export, then selecting create video, then selecting the quality of video. So let's go to that step by step in an actual demonstration. So now that we have finished recording, so we're ready to export the presentation. So all you need to do is go to File, Export, create a video, and I said select the quality for this particular exercise. Let me use a lower quality so that we will have a faster rendering. You notice now there is a use recorded timing and narration. If you don't have one, then what the option will be no recorded timing. So now we record that and then just click create a video, and so PowerPoint will actually assign a file name, and the file name is the same as your PowerPoint file name, but for this particular exercise, just to make sure, I will change the name to PPT to video. Okay, and now just click and export, and you will see here at the bottom the progress monitor, or the conversion, creating a video. So actually, if your computer is quite fast, or you have a higher or a faster processor and a bigger RAM, you may be able to render it quickly. But if you have lower or slower computer, then you may end up with a long waiting time. To avoid making a very long rendering time, select the appropriate quality, maybe a 720p. You don't need to go to 1080p anyway if you transfer it to, or to upload it to YouTube, and your students will view it on cell phone. Even a 480 will be good enough, especially when you don't really need the very high details, or you don't need details for your presentation, except probably if you are sharing a video on, like, say, histology, anatomy, or microstructures that you need to make the students identify very well. The rendering is almost finished. We'll just wait a few more seconds. Okay, but we can actually review the file. Taxonomy will have two dimensions, the cognitive and knowledge dimensions. So the cognitive process dimension represents a continuum of increasing cognitive complexity from remember to create. So we have remembers, the lowest, understand, going up to apply, and to the higher order thinking skills or cognitive dimensions, analyze, evaluate, and create. Okay, that's the end of it. Thank you for viewing this particular tutorial. See you next time.